We're now going to add in an additional movement to the arch and curl with a focus on releasing the psoas muscles. So psoas muscles sit here deep within those hip creases, and they're responsible for hip flexion. So that's when you bring your knee up towards your chest. These muscles are major stabilizers of the trunk, and they connect the center of the body to the lower limbs. Now, tightness in the psoas muscle is really common, and it's most often with people who have to spend long hours sitting at work or travelling, but it's also caused by overuse. So tightness in those psoas muscles, it can cause lower back pain. If it's on one side as well, it can interfere with your gait. So if it's one-sided, it causes you to hike the hip up and drop the shoulder down. So you get that tightness on one side. So releasing the psoas, as we're going to do just now, is going to improve your gait, improve your walking, and it's also going to give you that sense of freedom, that ease of movement in the pelvis. So let's get down to the mat. As I said earlier, this movement is based on the arch and curl, but with the addition of the leg movement. So our start position is going to be here on our back, knees bent, fingers interlinked behind the head. And of course, if your arms don't fully drop down, if they're up here somewhere, just pop a cushion under here just to take the strain off the muscles here in the chest. Okay, and we're going to start with an arch. So take an inhale, rolling down your pelvis. You can push your elbows into the floor, chin to chest, sensing that opening on the front and the contraction of the muscles at the back. And then slowly let that all melt away. So your lower back floats down to the mat and then fully relax. Then we're going to take an inhale. And on the exhale, as you bring your elbows in, you're also going to bring your knee to your chest. Now we're not doing a crunch here, it's just the knee and the elbows saying a polite hello to each other as your back flattens and your ribs drop down towards your pelvis. And try and bring your awareness to that hip crease. Can you sense that tightening? Make it feel juicy. And then slowly lower your leg. Not extending the knee, just bringing the foot back to where it was before. And then as your elbows start to lower, you can slide your heel along the mat to straighten that leg. And here just take an inhale, a nice resting breath, just to ensure that you have fully relaxed. It's very easy to hold on to some tension in that leg, especially as it's just performed quite a large movement. So make sure you're fully relaxed before we go into the arch in this position. So we're not going to bring the knee up just yet. We're going to take an inhale, go into the arch, and as you do so, you can either bring your toes up towards your head or you can point them away from you, whichever you prefer. And then slowly allow that all to melt away. On your next exhale, elbows come in, you can slide that heel back up and then bring your knee to your chest. Sensing that tension in the front, that opening at the back of the body. And then slowly bringing that foot down without extending the knee. When the head and foot land, the elbows can start to drop and you can slowly slide your heel on the mat until your leg is long. And take an inhale to ensure you're fully relaxed. And then we'll inhale and arch again. Pointing your toe or bringing it up towards your head if you prefer that. Feel that tension on the back of the body, that sense of opening on the front, especially in the hip on the side with the leg lengthened. And then just let it all melt away until you're fully relaxed. Then take an inhale. And as you exhale, slide that heel up so the knee is bent once more. And as you curl up, you can bring your knee up to your chest. And as I said before, just focus on that contraction, which is deep in that hip crease. Imagine that you've got a walnut tucked in there and you're trying to crack it. And then slowly allow your foot and your head to come down. When your foot and head have landed, slide that heel out as your arms slowly melt down to the floor. And then take a nice deep resting breath to make sure everything is relaxed. Now let's bring that knee up, and this time we're going to do the other leg. So we'll start with both knees up first of all. Let's go into our arch with an inhale. Allow it all to release. And then as your elbows come up, bring your knee to your chest as your back flattens. You don't need to have your knee and elbow meeting. It's the position that's important and the flattening of the back and the contraction in that hip crease. And then slowly, without extending at the knee, just allow your head and your foot to come down gently. When head and foot have landed, elbows start to drop and you can slide that heel along the mat. Just to straighten that leg. And then take that nice resting breath just to make sure that you have actually released all the tension, especially in the leg. And then from this position with that leg still lengthened, we're going to go into the arch. So take an inhale. You can point or you can flex your foot up like this. Feel that tension and then just allow it all to melt away. Till you're fully at rest once more. And then on your next exhale, your elbows come up, your heel slides up so your knee can be bent. And as you come up, flattening your back, you bring your knee up to your chest to say hello to that elbow. Feeling that contraction deep in the hip crease as well as your abdomen and your chest. And then slowly releasing from the belly, just allow it to melt. Allow your head and your foot to come down. And then slide your heel. Allow your elbows to float down. Take a nice big inhale. And ensure that you're fully relaxed.